Welcome to What in the Smut podcast.
Where the books are horny, and so are we. I'm Elle.
And I'm Kay. Dare I ask if there's anything good going on in the Smutverse this week?
You ask me every week. And this week I finally have some good news for you.
Yes!
New York City is in its glow-up era, and Mayor Mamdani is doing the hard shit that nobody thought he could. Well, there was some kerfuffle during this year's budget planning process. The final proposal, which not only balances the $12 billion deficit that the previous administration left behind, includes a permanent $31.7 million allocation to the city's 3 public library systems.
Wow.
So this means that while funding will continue to fluctuate from year to year, the libraries will no longer have to worry about paying for their core services every year because they now have a permanent $31.7 million every year.
Wow, that's fantastic. And it's like something like that is so like little and overlooked in terms of like city planning, you know?
Yeah, yes.
But can make such a huge impact.
It really, really can. Yes, because like the fact that they have to like stress about like negotiating for their budget every year just to keep their doors open is like kind of crazy. And so this kind of like eliminates that worry.
I mean, and next step could be schools.
Trust me, it's one of those things where I feel like Zohran Mamdani got a lot of flack, I guess, from like established politicians, right? Because like he came in on such like a optimistic platform. It's like, we're going to tax the rich. We're going to make the city more affordable. We're going to fund the libraries, like all liberal shit that like Republicans are like, yeah, good luck with that. You got to balance the budget somehow. And you know what the motherfucker's doing? He's taxing the rich.
He's doing it all.
He's doing it. He's doing all the shit that they said that he couldn't do. And it's like been so refreshing. Like he's just kind of like blowing it all wide open, because it's like, imagine he said he was going to do this shit and then he actually did it.
I mean, it's something to be said for a young, optimistic,
passionate, like person. Yeah. God, I'm just so, it's like every single post I see about him, it's just like, is this what hope feels like?
Well,
yeah.
Hang on to it wherever you can find it.
Yeah. And your rage and your whimsy.
All of it.
Anyway, all of it. So there's never been a better time to check out a library book. Maybe you could consider borrowing the book we read this week, because I would like to return it long before its due date. Okay?
So this week we read My Date with Bubble Tea by Sylvia Morrow. And the synopsis says, you'll flip your lid for this bubble tea. Adana enjoys the sweet side of life. Frilly clothes, adorable puppies, and walks in the fresh spring air are the thing for her. When she thinks she's spotted something else sweet to add to her collection, a gorgeous man sitting on a bench sipping a bubble tea, she struts over to get her guy. Too bad a misfit fairy accidentally turns the man Harry into bubble tea before she can get there. Thankfully, she can change Harry back, but first, Adana has to fall in love with him, boba and all. Then they have to prove that love physically. How are they supposed to fall in love when one of them is a cup of tea? And does his straw go there or not? Where would you put this one on our smut scale? Let's get right into it.
Yeah, let's get into it. I mean, we have a sentient object, so annoyingly, this is a level 2. A hump in the night, because one participant is an inanimate object, but otherwise, the sex is very straightforward.
Yes, and I mean, the smuts in some cases.
I agree. Yeah,
So,
we do get some good spicy scenes here.
Yeah, vanilla sex, though it is straightforward, is still hits.
Yeah, it's not going out of style anytime soon. There were some content notes at the beginning of the book. It says, talk of finances, unusual genitalia, explicit descriptions of sexual encounters, sex saves the day trope, descriptions of food, being grossed out by something unexpected during a consensual sexual experience. That's fair, actually.
Yeah. Yep.
It was a little too real, I think, for me in some regards, and we'll get into it. But are there any other notes that we should call out? Food in
I don't
places it should not go.
Yeah, well, I knew that the second they talked about, the sweetness of the boba tea, I was like, "Oh, oh no."
Oh no, indeed.
Elle's gonna have something to say about this.
And boy, do I.
And then we'll get into that
We'll
later.
get
I
into
have
it.
some.
We have lots of thoughts, but what did the internet have to say about it?
So, overall, this had a 4.0 on Amazon, a 3.9 on Goodreads,
Yeah.
and a 5-star says, "Sippy sippy on some bubble tea. One of the best sentient object romances I've ever read. The puns were top tier, just the right amount of corn and sweetness, 25%, if you know, you know, to make you kick your feet. For lovers of amazing smut, weird peens, bubble tea, and cozy romance, this one's perfect for you." Love that for them.
Yeah.
A 4 stars says perfect palate cleanser. This was so unexpected. I really didn't know what was going to happen and had me saying, "What the fuck," the entire time in a good way. So silly, so good. The perfect short read.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sure. A 4-star on Goodreads says, "What the fuck did I just read?" So this guy gets turned into a cup of boba tea by a fairy, as you do. And the only way to cure him is not true love's kiss. Apparently, you need true love's intercourse. I need everyone to understand something. This book is absolutely batshit insane. There is a sex scene between a human woman and a to-go cup. Actually, multiple sex scenes. It's graphic, and it's written with complete sincerity, full commitment to the bit. This was a fever dream. I'm kind of impressed this is a 4-star because this does sound like someone who's not familiar with Sentient Object.
Yes, but I like that it was a 4-star. There were no 1 or 2-star reviews on this book.
Huh,
I mean,
good.
it came out last February, I believe,
That seems right.
2025.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
not this past, so it's been out for over a year.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, there were no 1 or 2 stars. So like the funny ones are usually the 1-star reviews. But I can
Yeah.
appreciate the 4-star because it doesn't like ding the author for
Yeah. For a book that you picked up, it literally says My Date with Bubble Tea. I don't know what you
yeah.
were expecting.
It
Uh,
wasn't like a bubble tea date.
no, 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 no. Finally, a 3-star on Goodreads says Corncob D was not what I was expecting, but still pretty funny.
I
I
mean,
was also not expecting the Corncob D.
I pulled these reviews before I read it, which was a mistake.
So
I don't
you
usually
were
do
not
that.
surprised.
So I was spoiled with the corn cob D, if you will.
And you were like,
Um,
how is that going to come into play?
yeah. So
Interesting. Well, I
if
have a
you
lot
want
of thoughts.
yes. So if you want to give this one a read, we will be right here waiting for you when you come back. We will be going through the full plot of this book. There will be lots and lots of spoilers. So the link for this one will be in our show notes if you want to read it first. Are you ready to get into it?
I am so ready to get into it. Let's start with Adana. Now, this is a dual perspective, but we do
Mhm.
not get Harry's perspective until like chapter 6, I think.
Yeah.
I was
It's
I was surprised by it when it finally showed up.
at first I was like, okay, it keeps saying her name, but
Yeah.
like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. But we do start with Adana, and Adana has a Pomeranian
Mhm.
whose name is Snappy, who she takes on walks in a stroller.
I hate it.
It's
I have thoughts about that. And it has nothing to do with the book. I just hate because the dogs that go in the stroller are never like, I've seen dogs get pulled around in a wagon,
Uh-huh.
but it's typically like
An old dog who's
an
too
old
tired.
dog that
Mhm.
like their legs aren't working anymore, but they still love to go on walks. That's sweet.
Stop. You'll make me tear up.
Get your dog out of a stroller. I can't. Like, they're never big dogs,
Mhm.
obviously, but they're like small enough dogs that you can carry this thing. It does
Yeah.
not need to be in a stroller.
Well,
Rant over.
maybe you don't want fur all over your cute outfit.
It doesn't matter. And it's no, if you've gotten a dog, you've accepted that there's going to be fur everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah, that is true. Um, but we get a quick peek at
Mhm.
the fact that she is snapping pictures of her dog for her story,
Yep.
and people will just eat these up. We're going to find out that she is an influencer with
Yes.
over 1 million followers on Talk, but she is also a quantitative analyst. And I am always happy to see a girl boss. I love to see a woman in a classically male field. The fact that
Mhm.
she's a quantitative analyst is fantastic. Did she also need to be an influencer with over 1 million followers? Like, I don't like she's allowed to be a like woman with a frilly little dog and like a love of fashion without like having this side gig, I feel.
I think that it was just a way to include the dog. The author must love Pomeranians or
Maybe.
have one herself, and I think it was just a way to include the dog, but it also kinda dates the story
Yeah, a little bit.
because well, I mean, I guess Boba Tea kind of also dates it because there's, like, a very specific time frame
When
of,
it was
like,
really
that being
popular. Adana is yeah, the other thing is like every quant I know is like just so up to their eyeballs in their work. I can't imagine.
quant.
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Okay.
I live in New York. I know
Yeah.
quants.
I mean, it was so out there for me. Like, I understood this less, what she was talking about and what she did, less than I understood the electricity puns from last week's episode.
Yeah.
So she's walking her dog to the dog park
Mhm,
in the stroller.
mhm,
And
mhm.
and she's distracted by a hot man sitting on a bench.
As one does.
I mean, this level of confidence I would love to have.
Right. She is like, okay. She catches herself staring. She's like, we get a description. He's got wavy, asymmetrically cut black hair. His cheeks are rosy against his pale skin. He looks like he could be out college age, but the crinkles around his eyes say he has to be closer to my age of 34.
Yes.
And she's like, she catches herself staring and is like, I need to keep walking or make a move, not just stand here like a creep. Come on, woman up, Adana. Like the confidence.
The confidence is couldn't be me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is someone that meets people out in the wild a lot.
Yes.
And I am not one of those people.
No.
I can be very outgoing, but I am not going to like lock
Make.
eyes across the park and go find my true love, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I need to start doing that.
Yeah. I was just thinking you could switch things up perhaps. Such
So,
yeah.
as she's getting over there, all of a sudden, poof, he's gone.
All that's left on the bench is an extra large bubble tea, and hovering over it is a shocked looking fairy. The fairy was a jump scare.
Yeah, I mean, I get it because like she saw him, she was attracted to him at first. There had to be some reason for her to, but like she didn't seem all that surprised by a fairy.
No. No. I don't know, like, we have a character who is weirdly unfazed by the fairy and very fazed by the idea of bubble tea cum. And, like, I don't know, I feel like you gotta be all in or all out, like,
Yeah.
she's mostly just annoyed. Like, she's like, the fairy's like, "Oh, no, that wasn't supposed to happen," and then the fairy notices Adana and is like, "Don't mind me, nothing to see here, enjoy your walk," and she's like, "Nothing to see? You gotta be kidding me. I'm looking at a real fairy, and what do you mean you don't know what to do? You can't leave him like that. I was planning on trying to date him, Miss Fairy." Like,
Wild.
wild!
Yes. Wild.
And so they're like, the fairy jumps into the air and waves her wand and summons another fairy. And it's like, what is this? Sleeping Beauty? Like, we've got like the bumbling idiot fairies that are like out here changing her dress color.
It reminded me, there's a show, it's like a British cartoon by
Okay.
the same creators of Peppa Pig,
Okay.
something Little Kingdom.
Okay.
And there's like fairies and elves, and the fairy, one of the like head fairy, is an idiot, and
Okay.
she screws stuff up all the time. So like, it took me out of it a little bit because I was like,
Yeah.
"Nanny, is that you?"
Good. Yeah. Well, like, that's the thing is like, I don't know. It's funny because I feel like we have this discussion often
Mhm.
about like, why is the sentient object sentient?
Yeah.
And there's like, I feel like there are two ways to approach it. Like, you fully explain it or you just go with it. And everyone accepts that this is a sentient object. And like my date with caps lock, for
Yeah.
example, it's just like, the letters came to life because of the magic of Caps Lock Day. I don't know. Like, we're not
Yeah.
going to talk about it. We're not going to explain it. You're here for smut and ridiculous smut at that. Why are you worried about it? And then on the other hand, you've got like Unhinged, which surprisingly has like a very well done, brief explanation for why
Yeah.
the door is sentient, which is
Yeah.
like
Zeus fucked a tree.
Zeus fucked a wood nymph. But yes, a tree, etc. And so like I feel like you can do one of those two paths. And Sylvia Morrow has gone with, I'm going to fully explain why the bubble
Yeah.
tea is sentient. But unfortunately for me and you, it sounds like, the fairies are just so kid coded
Yeah.
that it's just
Yeah.
like, and then suddenly one of them's like, well, true love's kiss is not going to be enough for this. You got to have true love's fuck. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yes, it very much so the fairy calls in reinforcements, and it's
Yes.
an old lady fairy,
Yes.
which I feel like fairies aren't supposed to get old.
I don't know. They're supposed to be timeless beings, but that part is neither here nor there.
So then it's like, oh, well, if this accident happened, because the fairy, Miss Dandelion is the fairy's name, and she says, I was trying to do something else and I sneezed and I pointed my wand at him by accident. And she was like, oh, well, there's never actually an accident when it comes to magic.
Yeah.
She was walking by. This is fate. This is how fate works. You turned him into a giant beverage, and but also not a giant beverage. Like,
no, just an awkwardly sized beverage.
Yeah.
It's just slightly too
Like,
big.
Too big to fit into a cup holder. So like a 40-ounce boba tea.
Which is why?
Well, because it would be too hard to explain and move if he was a boba tea in the size of a giant man.
No, that's fine. I mean, certainly don't make him man-sized. That's not going to work in this world that we've created. I mean, why make him slightly bigger? Why not leave him drink-sized?
Because it needs to be fuckable.
The straw normally sticks out like a good 5 inches. Like, that's plenty.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that
And it's going to grow. It was going to become fuckable no matter what. We didn't need to make it awkward.
But I feel like it would be more awkward if it was a cup that was not big enough to, like, stay on the ground when she ends up getting to that
I
point.
guess that's fair. Yeah, okay. Whatever.
Like,
I guess I wouldn't be happy either way.
the logistics were tough on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're just like, the fairies are like, all right, you're going to have to take him home. Good luck. And it was also like, I do appreciate that this was not a insta-love, I suppose.
It was on his end, though.
It was weirdly on his
also-
end.
But he writes romance.
Yeah,
so,
he's a
like,
romantic.
I can understand it.
I think there were many pieces of this that I appreciated, which was like, one, that the female main character was the high-powered finance baddie, and the male main character is the writer on a hospital romantic drama TV show who is a hopeless romantic. Like, I approve. I think that that's fun. That's a good departure from gender norms in terms of career choices. I liked that she was the one who kind of like needed to like come along and like get to know him before she could really fall in love with him. Like, because I am so tired of women being dickmatized and just like being like, but daddy, I love him. Like, fucking
Charge
moment.
me, daddy. Isn't that?
Yeah.
Energize me, daddy.
Energize me, daddy. It's a bit much for me. I'll say it. But like, I do think that like so much of this was like, okay, well, this is true love's fuck. And also you need to get to know each other and fall in love and fuck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. So.
Oh, and in the midst of all of this, it turns out that Harry can talk.
Yes. And the flap of his cover moves while he talks, which, like,
I can't imagine anything less sexy. The problem that I had is that this reminded me of Master Shake from Aqua Teen and Hunger Force.
You spoke German to me just then. I have no idea
That's
what you're
fair.
talking
This
about.
was a show on Adult Swim, I want to say, in like 2004.
Master Shake, you said?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm going to find it.
Yeah, you should put it up because like literally that's what this was.
Well, now I need to see what he looks like. I mean, I'm glad that I didn't know what that
didn't
show
have
was.
that visual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like, I don't know, the switch from human to sentient object is a choice.
I agree. But I think like having, I don't know, I think like the choice was to try to make it more obvious that she would be willing and wanting to like break his curse, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird in sentient object, I feel like. It's weird in monster fucking.
Yeah. So they're talking. She had to strap him into the stroller because he wouldn't fit in the cup holder. And he's saying it's emasculating, which is an interesting
a red flag.
ad yeah.
I said what I said.
They get to the dog park. She lets the dog out and they're talking. And she's like, all right, I'll tell you a little about myself. I don't love this technique.
I don't like it.
it. And we'll get to that part of it
too.
Yes,
so I'm jumping ahead.
Continues that she's telling that her favorite hobbies are photography and making tiny clothes for Snappy so I can post videos of her on social media. We have almost 1 million followers on our TOK TALK channel. Can you believe it? This is like, no.
Why?
I,
She could have had a little dog and enjoyed making clothes for her little dog without like the
yeah.
extra stuff.
And no man is like more enticed because you've got a million talk followers.
Talk. So then they're talking about their favorite tea order.
Yeah.
Which, like, I don't mind this. This is for the knowers of bubble tea. But did he really need to make fun of her for having 25% sweetness? Because I also do 25% sweetness and I'm not pre-diabetic, which is what she is, but
Which is wild. Also, like, wild addition.
that she's pre-diabetic.
Yes. And
Yeah.
also, there doesn't need to be a reason why she only likes 25% sweetness. Like,
No.
yeah, I didn't like the pre-diabetic thing.
I think it's just like, I don't know. It doesn't endear me to the male main character because, like, I don't know. She doesn't need a reason to want less sweet boba. But then it also is like weird for the female main character to then be like, well, I'm pre-diabetic. Like, so fuck you, I guess. And like, why? We didn't need to.
She's a little combative with him throughout the whole thing.
Yes. And he's kind of annoying also.
Yeah. Like, so I mean, I love some good banter. Sometimes I like to be mean to a man. And sometimes that works.
Yeah.
But then there's times where it's like you're just being combative for no reason.
Yeah. I don't know. And the other thing that I think the thing about how these characters are written, it feels like we just read 2 character sheets. You know what I mean? It's like, here's the list, here's the character sheet for Harry. Here are his likes and his dislikes. Here's his job and how he spends his time. And here's the main conflict that he has with our other main character, Adana. Yeah. And then, like, here's Adana's likes and dislikes. And here's her career. Like, it feels just like a list of all of these things that have no bearing on the story. Yeah. Like, they're like comparing their hobbies and their careers and like they don't have anything in common. But instead of, like, I don't know, I guess they do kind of work on that a little bit later where he like takes her to a hockey game. But like it's just like, why do we list this? Like we could have had more organic conversation that led to him being like, oh, well, I normally play hockey on the weekends. I guess I won't be able to do that this weekend because I'm a cup. You know, like there were other ways.
I agree. It was very much the whole like first date, tell me about yourself in a way that's like, I've got these cards in front of me. I'm going to tell you. Like,
and that's why it felt a little too real because it was like awkward. It felt like an awkward first date, and I didn't like it.
Yeah. Like he could have said that he was a writer on a television show.
Yeah, and then like, we could have gotten bits about the fact that he likes baking and ice hockey later.
Yeah. So we get that every time he laughs, his ice cubes clink.
Mm-hmm.
I had a hard time with the realism of this with like, he needs to be in the refrigerator.
Yeah. He's gonna melt.
Yeah, those ice cubes, like, yeah. So then he's like trying to decide what level of sweetness he is as a tea. And he says, I don't think I'm very sweet. My boba to milk ratio seems heavy on the milk. Something tells me you could suck up my balls.
Also, milk has a lot of sugar in it. Like, this is not a you don't know. Even
I
almond milk, unless it's unsweetened, it has a shitload of sugar in it.
Yeah, that's true.
Just because there are fewer tapioca balls doesn't mean that this is a healthy drink for her to drink, and you don't know.
Right. I was more irritated with "You can suck up my balls."
Yeah, yes.
Because, man, oh man, what a male thing to say on the first date.
Yeah. But, like, on a first date where there's not gonna be a second date,
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
I don't know, by the time we finally get his perspective, I don't believe that he's a hopeless romantic.
Well, yeah, because
He
he's
because he's a perv this whole page. She's like, "Oh, you're made from compostable corn-based plastic according to the label on your bottom. Did you know that? Better for the environment." And he's like, "I'm glad to know you noticed my bottom." And she goes, "Are you always a pervert?" And he says, "Only on the days when the sun rises in the east." Like,
I mean, yeah, I it's he so she gets, like she says, "Stop that right now, you perv." And some old man goes, "I'm sorry, ma'am. I was just admiring your top. I swear, I wasn't staring at your cleavage. It's really a lovely top."
uh-huh.
And he's like, "Don't tell my wife, okay?" And he runs away because she goes, "Don't do it again. Leave me alone and we won't have an issue."
Yeah.
This was wild too.
Yep.
And I
And
mean, I'm all about like women not being polite in times that they are
yes,
uncomfortable, but this was
absolutely.
just it was her way of like she was having the conversation. She said, "Don't be a perv" to the cup,
Yeah.
and this man was looking at her boobs as they do.
And
So
yeah. Go ahead.
then they're like, they know that they have to have sex
Mhm.
for him to turn back into a man.
Mhm.
Now, it's one of those things where like he can be a hopeless romantic, but also like, I don't know, he is trying to like put it out there,
Right.
like put
Mhm.
the so she says no, he's like, I'm not sure how any of this works. For example, how are we supposed to have sex? I don't have a dit. And she cuts him off and says,
Yeah.
"Okay, I get it." And he's like, "I think it's probably my straw,
Yeah.
for the sex."
That was funny. That part was funny.
um,
I didn't mind that. It's just like, oh no.
so we get that like she makes herself dinner when they get back to her place.
Mhm.
He's not hungry, so she doesn't make anything for him.
I
Interesting.
I don't see a way he would eat without a mouth anyway. I feel like
Yeah.
we talked about dinner just so that we could mention some Nigerian food,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Um,
sure. And now we're gonna get like her why she moved to the city and how long she's lived here and the fact that her father made all of his money in Nigeria working in tech and that they're rich and they don't pay for her lifestyle and then like he's like, well, they'll be all right having a son-in-law who isn't rich, right? I mean, I'm not broke, don't get me wrong. It's just that television writers aren't rolling in dough. Unfortunately, I love the work regardless of the pay. Okay. Like, I love that for you. Like, we've all been there.
yeah.
I'm on board with like a starving artist.
Mhm.
But like she also calls him out for going right to son-in-law.
Yeah. I mean, it's like love bombing,
Uh-huh.
except like he truly believes it, I think.
He's like, we are supposed to be falling in love and all of that. I write shows about true love. I know how it goes. Besides, I'm a romantic. Once we fall in love, I want a wedding and a honeymoon and a happily ever after. So she carries him into her room. At some point, she takes a shower, puts on a nightgown and a bonnet, and lays down on the bed with Harry on her bedside table. And they're like kind of discussing how he feels, why he can see, not really sure how it works, don't know how
Yeah.
we're supposed to have magical sex. I still think it's got to be the straw. Oh, I discovered this while you were in the shower. And then Harry makes his straw move up and down in that annoying squeaking sound that straws make in a plastic lid,
Yep.
which, like, That's not going to turn me on. I don't know why
No.
you're doing that.
Nope. And she
Eh,
pretty much says that. She says,
yeah,
"This is is incredibly unsexy. Those rigid plastic edges scraping my insides sounds like torture." And I was like, "Oh."
true. Yes. This is why it was like, this is a little too real. Like,
Yeah.
I agree with you. And I'm glad that we're not going to be using just the straw because that would be not pleasant and not erotic. Like,
No.
it wouldn't get the job done. But
So she's like, "Well, maybe I'm supposed to drink you because you seem like you're my order. That makes sense." And he's
mhm,
like, "All right, let's try it. Just be gentle. No one likes a straw biter." Funny.
that's funny. I'll give you that. And then we're going to talk about grandmas.
Yeah. So because she's like, "I'm not exactly in my like at my sexiest right now. I'm wearing a granny nightgown." And he's
Yeah.
like, "Those nightgowns work just fine for plenty of grannies. My grandma had 8 kids, was married 60 years, and only wore cotton nightgowns. Must be something to them." Interesting.
Yeah. And she's like, I think that was more likely social pressure and a lack of birth control. But sure, we can go with the nightdress. Like, can we? I mean, I love that. I think that's great. I agree. I agree. But also, like, can we not talk about grandmas while we're trying to get in the mood?
It's like wants to be slow burn, but
Yeah.
also like it's like that I don't know, like grumpy sunshine, but also like not quite hitting the mark for me.
Yeah. We're trying to do too many things all at once,
Yeah.
is kind of where I'm landing.
She's like she tells him he's annoying
Hmm.
and he says she said, "Are you as frustrating as you are right now as a man?" And he's
Hmm.
like, "I have far more ways to be annoying than I do as a cup of tea. This is nothing, but don't worry, I promise to use them all to be adorable." Okay.
That's cute.
And she's like, "You are annoying as hell. I'll take a sip, but I'm telling you right now, I do not want to have to put this straw between my downstairs lips. That's not a way I can personally see myself expressing love."
Hmm.
Boundaries. We love it when
I,
you can put out those boundaries.
yep.
But also, like, you're being mean to him when
Hmm.
you've just met him.
Yeah.
Like, sure, the fate part of it, like, he believes, but this is not how to get a man.
I mean, it's also not
Sometimes
how to
it
get a
is.
woman. Like, all of this is weird. Also, I have not read James Joyce's love letters to Nora Barnacle. I don't know why anybody would be, and I don't know why he was reading them the other day and she has read them, and I don't know why they're a mood killer.
I don't know anything about that. Is
Yeah,
that
I don't know. I don't
is
know.
it
I
a
don't know.
book?
No, James Joyce is a real person. He's just an author.
Oh.
He wrote fuck, was it Death of a Salesman? I think it's Death of a Salesman. They were
Um,
deeply in love, and he talks an awful lot about how he loves her fat, and then, like, she cuts him off, but, like, I don't what?
the Paris Review,
Uh-huh.
James Joyce's love letters to his dirty little fuckbird.
Oh my god.
I need to do a deep dive on this later. He 13 not safe for work lines from James Joyce's incredibly dirty love letters. This is fantastic.
Wow.
Like a hog riding a
A sow.
sow. Want to know what I had seen somewhere? And it was like every time someone pronounces a word, it's because they've only read the word before.
Yes.
They've never heard it in conversation.
I
I
run into
read a
this problem
lot.
all the time.
I read a lot, and I do not talk about certain things a lot, apparently, because
Mhm.
I mispronounce words all the time. He also calls her my little frigging mistress.
Okay.
Um, Tells her to buy a pretty frilly pair of drawers.
Okay.
A sudden immodest noise made by you behind.
Oh
Fat
my.
dirty farts. an
That's
ar-
probably what was
an
cut off here.
arse full of farts.
Oh my
He
god.
likes farts. No end of her farts in my face.
Wow. He talks it okay, so he does. That must be what we're mentioning here. That's
This is
crazy.
hilarious.
Well, thank you, Sylvia Morrow, for introducing me to this because that's
Uh,
crazy.
So she's like, "Yes, I have read them, and if you want any chance of romance tonight, you'll stop talking about them. That is
Mhm.
a mood killer like nothing else," which
And
makes me
now we know
laugh.
why.
That's hilarious.
That
I'm
is
so
hilarious.
glad that we decided to look that up
Me
because
too.
that's really funny.
Yep.
So she's like starting to get nervous.
Mhm.
She drinks a little bit from his straw.
Mhm.
He starts to groan, and that makes her like that turns her on. And
Mhm.
then she realizes, like, oh, I'm drinking this. Like, I'm not, I shouldn't be turned on because I'm drinking this. And he says, oh, fuck, keep going. Get the boba. Fuck yes.
And that breaks the entire mood, which, like, yep, okay. Like, we see her get the ick in real time.
Yeah. But also, she like opens her eyes and realizes that like something's happening to the cup and says, "Oh, what the fuck is that?" And he goes, "I
Yeah.
think that might be my dick."
Uh-huh.
So also like the dick grows kind of around the straw.
Uh-huh.
Um
It's clear, and it went straight up along with the direction of his straw, but much, much thicker than it. It wasn't smooth like his straw, though. It was textured all along the whole thing. It only made it about halfway up the height of the straw before I pulled away. But if it had gone all the way up, I could imagine it would have looked like something like, I don't know, a mostly transparent corn cob with a straw running up the center. Oh, your dick's not the straw, it's corn. You have a crystal clear corn cob cock. Try to say that 5 times fast.
no selling seashells at the seashore there.
Yeah, true.
So this makes her laugh,
Mhm.
and now the moment is ruined. It's over.
Yes.
And they realize that it's because his cup is made of corn-based plastic.
Mhm.
Um, and then she's like, "It could have been worse. It
Mhm.
always could be worse." And
Could
he's
always
like,
be worse.
"Corn is definitely the better option. So now that we know what it is, does that mean you're interested in continuing what we're doing earlier? Because I'm fully prepared to pop this corn." And she says, "You're nasty, but that's not why I'm saying no for the evening. All this drama has just put me out of the mood. Get some sleep." I feel kind of bad for him.
Yeah.
Like, it was funny.
Yeah.
It wasn't like something bad had happened. Like they laughed. I feel like
Yeah.
you can easily get back in the mood after laughing over something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, and it's fine. I like an interrupted moment or whatever
Sure.
to crank up the tension, but also like
I
I don't
didn't
know.
feel like it was cranking up the tension, though. It felt like
Yeah,
she was, like, coming to her senses and, like, didn't actually want
that's true. I
it.
mean, and she kind of doesn't. Like we do get that.
Yeah. And so
S-
now we finally get Harry's perspective. We are on chapter 6.
Yes, we are about 40% through this book and we're finally getting his perspective. Which, and it's like we get his perspective, but I don't know. He doesn't ever think like, damn, she's like kind of mean to me.
No.
But he also doesn't think like I love the way that she's kind of sassy. Like,
Right.
so
No,
we're
he
not
likes that she's
getting.
hot and smart, and he likes listening to her talk, and that's about it.
Which, I mean, I liked
Good.
that. It says she's hot, smart, and I like listening to her talk. If there's one thing you should look for in a partner, it's someone you like listening to. I
Absolutely.
loved that
Yep.
because everything else is going to fade, but you need to be able to still have conversations.
Yeah. So she's filming her outfit of the day and, like, doing her daily video on finance tips when he says, "Maybe someday I can brush your hair. Ever since I first saw you, I thought it was so." And she says, "If you mess with my hair, I'll kill you." And, like, I don't touch a black woman's hair.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, just don't. Just don't. Like, no, 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 no. And, like, again, this is not a topic that we are qualified to speak on, but, like, I don't like it.
No, and it's not a topic that we're qualified to speak on because obviously it's not something that we've ever experienced.
Mhm.
However, we've seen enough women that have experienced this
Yeah.
to be able to elevate that and continue to say, "Don't do it."
Yeah.
They don't like it, don't
Right.
do it, which I
It's
think
like
is
the
important.
entitlement to someone else's personal space and
Yeah.
body
Mhm.
is crazy. It's actually kind of interesting. I have a friend who is a very vibrant redhead.
Mhm.
Um, and she experiences similar unwanted attention. And like the thing about it is that it others you. It makes you like
Mm.
very aware that you are not normal to a person who's like, "Oh, your hair's so interesting. It's so vibrant. It's so this, it's so that." And she's like, I never identify more with Black women than when people feel like they are allowed to just reach out and touch my hair. And like it's
Yeah.
so weird. And it's just one of those things where it's like this is not okay. And like I can't believe we're still having these conversations as a society.
Well,
But
and
like
it's one of those things where it's almost like if you shouldn't comment on another person if it's not something that they can change
right.
in so
If it's
like
not like a choice that they made, if it's not like
well, it's one
yeah,
of those like if it's not something that someone can change in 5 minutes,
right. You got something in your teeth that they can fix. Like,
yes, but like,
yeah.
oh, you've got a giant zit on your face.
Mhm.
That's not something that like
Like, they know.
yeah, yeah.
Why would you comment on it?
But the othering piece of things is an interesting perspective
Yeah.
because you're right. Like you can get compliments on an outfit and you're like, I picked this and I love it and I know it looks great. And you could love your hair and know that it looks
Yeah.
great, but also it's not something it's just part of who you are rather than
Yeah.
something that you chose. Interesting
Mhm.
perspective that I never really thought about. So she's still getting the dog ready for the day.
Uh,
And then
he's talking about all the things that he wants to do to her and how he couldn't work it into a script for cable because it would be too dirty. Um, and then she's like or he says, "You're beautiful, Adana, truly." And she kinda gets shy by that. And then he asks her about stochastic calculus because she mentioned it during the video, and she asks what he knows about Brownian motion, and, like, we didn't need this. It's fine, like, this is, like apparently like, she definitely goes off on a tangent because Monte Carlo, I don't think has anything to do with stochastic calculus, but I'm not familiar enough with the models that they use to know for sure. I don't remember. Like, my under no, we don't need to get into it. We don't need to get into it.
because none of it, I breezed right past it because I was like, this is so out of touch with so many readers that
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Like,
No,
and
and he thinks similarly. He's like, "I'm not made out for STEM. My mind is a liberal arts zone." All I asked was why it was called the Monte Carlo simulation when she referred to it, and I don't even think she gave me the answer to that. But still, I could listen to her talk all day. Like, I don't mind that. I think that's fine.
here's the thing, like, I can appreciate that because when somebody talks about something that they're really passionate about and you can see them light up despite the fact that it's something that you don't even care about at all,
Or know
that's
anything
really cool
about.
to see. So they decide to go over to Harry's house
Mhm.
because he's like, let's just make sure that nobody broke into my home while I've been gone. Fair.
Mhm. Mhm.
And she's like, "You don't have keys," which leads him on a little bit of a spiral of like all of the stuff that was on my person and is now this drink. And ew,
Right.
that's a lot of germs. That was
Yeah,
weird.
which is weird, and also I didn't like that we were calling it out because I
Mhm.
know where this is going. inside of her vagina. Why did we talk about how germy it must be all up inside of him when we know that that's what the cum is gonna be? It's bad enough that it's sugary boba tea.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it's like all of his keys and his phone and shit. No, absolutely not.
So he tells her, she's like, you don't have keys. He's like, I live in a house, not an apartment, and I have a spare key hidden under a plant, which, like, that's common.
It is. He has a coffee table book on Simone de Beauvoir. I can never say Simone's name.
De Beauvoir?
De Beauvoir. De Beauvoir. Yeah.
And then he's like, she's gonna think that I'm really cool. And then right next to it is Twilight.
Which is funny. I like it.
So she's like, there's not a lot of stuff here. Are you a minimalist or something? Because if this is going to work, you need to get on board with the fact that I am not a minimalist and I have lots of things. And sometimes I just get things because they bring me joy. Yep. And damn if I did not feel that to my core.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. And he's like, mostly just delighted that she's talking about, you know, their future together.
Mm-hmm.
But they talk about his family and how he goes to visit them. And then while they're talking about it, she starts sliding her finger up and down his cup and then starts pinching the straw. So she's like initiating.
Yes.
Which, like, we're in his perspective still. We got no indication that she was like starting to get to the point where she wanted to start initiating stuff.
Yeah. So she's just kind of, I mean, I didn't hate it. She was just
I like the casual nature of it. I like this like progression. I just kind of wish we'd been in her head so that I could have seen why suddenly we're on board with it.
Yeah. So like she starts moving the straw in and out, and then she's like, let's take this to the bedroom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he's totally on board. She puts a blanket out on the floor because she's like, I don't want to put you on my bed because you might spill.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yep.
And then he's like, it's okay. It's a nice view.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I suppose I can't tell you off for being a pervert now since we're about to. And he goes, we're about to fuck, you mean?
Mm-hmm. If you can't talk about it, you shouldn't be doing it.
I was thinking the same thing. And she's like, this is so weird, which it is.
Yeah.
So, okay. She's kind of getting in her head a little bit.
And then I don't know. Like, I appreciate that this is sweet and that he noticed her when we didn't know that he had noticed her. Because he's like, I'm head over heels in love with you already, Adana. From the moment I saw you, I knew magic was in the air. What else could it be? The way the sunlight glittered like diamonds on your brown skin, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm still a man under all of this. It seems silly because of the form I'm in, but make no mistake, it's a real heart you hold in your hands. Please don't break it. Which is sweet.
Yes.
But it's so soon.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, we don't get any kind of like, I've been hurt before.
Right.
And I'm cautious and all of this. No, it's like, I saw you. I thought you were pretty. Yeah. And now here's my heart. Don't hurt me.
Right. It feels very manipulative, but I can't put my finger on like exactly why. I don't know.
Because she's so not on board for it and because he's so over the top, it does make it seem like it's manipulative to get her on board.
Like, and the problem is that like he needs this. Like, he needs her to fall in love with him.
Yeah.
Because otherwise he can't ever turn back into a human.
That's true.
And so there's, like, the motivation is such that, like, I mean, like, it's not entirely, like, his fault, but, like, he does need her to fall in love with him,
Yeah.
and, like, that makes it a little bit weird that he's, like, being so pushy about it
Yeah.
because it's not natural. It's not like, "Oh, like, yeah, like, we're gonna try and gloss it over with, like, this is fate," but, like, he has a motivation to make sure that she gets over whatever her hesitations are.
Yeah. And, like, so she starts to take her clothes off,
Mhm.
which makes his corncob cock start to grow.
Fucking hate it, man.
So then she's like looking at him and he goes, "What's the verdict?" She goes, "Nice and thick, textured. I can see through it to where the straw runs up the center. Firm but squishy, not rigid like plastic, thankfully." Like, I I didn't want her saying this out loud.
No. We could have been in her perspective,
Yeah.
and then we could have, like, felt it. Like, she could have felt it and been like, "Okay, like, I can work with this," like which is
Yeah.
basically what she's saying, but I don't need her to say it.
Yeah. Um
Your
so
straw opening is under this slit here. I'm assuming you'll come out of the straw and then out of here. Let's find out, shall we? Like, why is she surprised at the end of all of this?
well, she's surprised because she thought it was just gonna be liquid.
That's true. I guess that's fair.
So she inserts him.
Mhm.
Um and then he's like, "Touch yourself, come for me." Hate it.
Mhm. I mean, he
Um
can't do anything else. He has to use his voice, to be fair.
yes. No, I'm fine with the touch yourself part of it.
Mhm.
The come for me. No, I don't like it. And then he goes, "I think I can feel it." And she's like, "Me too." She
Mhm.
comes.
Mhm.
He comes.
Mhm.
And I let out a long, low moan as the tapioca pearls spill into her passage, packing themselves tightly inside her, filling every crevice. She's mad. She's
Yeah, and she
big
should
mad.
be.
But it's not like it was something that he knew was going to happen or could control.
True. All of this.
But all of this is stuff that they should have had a conversation about before they did anything.
Well, and it's also like it's so weird because like he turns back into a human. She goes into the bathroom to like deal with this.
Well, because it's like she's got a vagina
But
full of like Kegel balls.
I know. I
She's trying to
know.
keep inside of her until she gets to the toilet and can like bear down or
I
something.
guess. But like the mood is completely ruined.
Yeah.
And then like he turns back into a human and like goes and knocks on the door and he's like, Adana, it worked. And then she comes out and then they start making out. Like it I don't know. It's just like I felt blue balled. Like the mood is just all over the place. Like they're
Yeah.
being mean to each other, they're flirting, and then like they're being awkward, and then they're like fucking, and then it's awkward again, and now he's a human, and now it's gonna be awkward again
Yeah.
because they like start making out, they're like laying down on the bed, and then she pushes down the waistband of his pants, and he's still see-through on his lower half.
Yes. So like he still is filled with boba tea from the waist down.
Yes,
Just
indeed.
crazy.
Yes.
So she's like, we need to figure out what's going on. So they go back to that park bench and they're like
Yep.
looking for the fairies again.
Yep.
And then the fairies show up and they're like, he's still T from the dick down.
Mhm.
And they're like, "Oh, well, that means that one of you hasn't fully accepted this bond yet." So this is
Yeah.
like wants to be some kind of like Omegaverse mating bond kind of situation
I guess? It's
where like the
so
bond has not fully snapped into place yet because
Yeah.
she's not in love. But really, instead of that bond snapping into place, it's like he's still clear and you can see the boba balls floating
Yeah.
around.
In his scrotum. Like, it's so weird.
Yeah.
But so, like, So then it's like, okay, cool. Fairies disappear. They go back to her apartment to like kind of talk it through. And
Mhm.
he's like, I'm all in. We know that you're the unsure one. And she's like, I feel guilty. It's my fault your body's like that. He does a good job here,
Mhm.
despite my earlier assertions that it is in his best interest to be manipulative.
Yeah.
He says, it's not your fault. It's some fairy's fault. You didn't accidentally curse me. You have no reason to feel guilty. I need you to understand that. This is not your fault. Even if I had remained a cup of tea forever because you wanted nothing to do with me and just left me on that bench, it wouldn't have been your fault. It's the fault of the fairy who turned me, not you. This is great.
Yes, I agree.
This is the only thing that kept me on board, to be quite honest.
But also, could you imagine if she never got on board for this and was
Yeah,
like, "No,
no.
I don't want anything to do with you." And he was like, "Okay." And he went back out on the dating circuit and was
As a cup?
like, "No, cuz he's a man again,
Oh.
but like out on the
Oh,
dating
yeah, yeah, yeah,
circuit,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
he could never wear shorts
No.
because his legs are clear and see-through, and also like, "Hey, we're gonna be intimate. I need to tell you something. There's boba in my nutsack." Like,
That's
what?
crazy. That's crazy. So, yeah, so she's like, okay, like she accepts this. He tells her all the reasons why he loves her and he tells her to take her time. I will wait.
Mhm.
And wait, he does. It
Yep.
says we dated for weeks.
Mhm.
And so we get a lot of telling here. It's like, I've been sleeping over every night, blah, 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 blah. It's like, I know it's going well because I'm becoming steadily more solid. One of my legs is completely solid again, not a trace of plastic in it. The other foot is fully normal too. She's falling for me just like I knew she would.
The
Like,
funny part is that his penis is the last thing to turn
I
back
know.
into a real man. Like,
Yeah,
that's funny.
it is funny. It is funny. But like he takes her to a hockey game, they meet his friends like her, he insinuates that he wants to meet her friends, and she's like, "We're gonna have to guss up your wardrobe because like you have to look 10 out of 10 at Nigerian celebrations." And then like they start fooling around and like I was like, "Okay, we're gonna get there." And then is completely ruined because she says, "Oh, Harry, I want you to take me tonight. I don't care about your situation. I need you. I need to feel you inside me." And he thinks, "Oh, thank God, it's tea time. I'm out
Pulled you right back out.
all the way, all the fucking way out."
Yeah. Yep. I mean,
She keeps calling him Sippy.
yeah, which she had called him at first before she knew what his name was.
I know, and I
At least
hate
it's
it.
a nickname that like came from something,
It's such
you
a
know?
bad nickname.
It's not, and it's not good, but I'm not mad about it. I
I
would,
am.
but maybe it's also because it's his nickname and not hers.
Yeah, you generally do not empathize with the men as much. To be fair, neither do
Weird.
I, but I hate this nickname.
Oh man. So they finally are going to have sex again because they hadn't been before. And
Right.
he's like, he's going down on her. And
Mhm.
she's like, I need you to take off your pants. And he's
Mhm.
like, I don't want to basically scare you off, take you out of the moment. Like things
Yep.
still are
A
clear
little
down there.
see-through. Mhm. Mhm.
And she's like, no, we need to do this. And
Yeah.
then she realizes that she does love him.
Yep.
And we get his cock breaches my opening, its textured surface dragging slowly up my wet walls. Ew.
Mm.
I'd forgotten how good that feels. I'll miss it when it's gone because it will be gone. I know now that I truly love him.
Mhm.
Maybe I can convince him to buy a textured toy for us to play with someday. The thought makes a giggle bubble out of me.
Cute.
Yeah, like that's great.
Yep.
So they have sex.
Mhm.
He's like, "Hey, good thing you decided you were in love with me before I came again, because there's no boba. Surprise."
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
And she's like, "Wait, there's not?" And he's like, "See, I knew we were meant to be." And then
Yeah.
she again is mean to him. "You're annoying.
Yep. Maybe you were
Maybe you
better
were
as a
better as
cup.
a cup."
Fucking rude, man. But he draws her a bubble bath
And
uh
a snack.
and a snack. And it's cute, and she thinks that they're gonna have such a sweet life.
And that's where we end.
Mm-hmm.
What do you rate this one?
I think I'm somewhere between a 1.5 and a 2.
Okay.
I think I'm at a 1.5. I'm at a one
Okay.
and a half.
Okay.
Like, there were pieces of this that I liked. I feel like the smutted in some regards. I liked that we played with gender roles in terms of their careers, but I feel like we were trying to do way too much with these 60, it ends up being like 65 pages.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm a little uncomfy with a white woman writing a black woman. It doesn't sit right with me. And I feel like I was very aware of it the whole story.
Mhm. And was
Uh,
that before having the conversation? Because we had talked about that review offline before we started
yeah,
this. So it was prior
it
to
was
that
before
also?
that.
Okay.
It was like as soon as we found out that she was a black woman, I was like, okay, okay, we'll see where this goes. And then it just like kept going. And
Yeah.
like the problem is that like I want to read more characters of color, but I want them to be written by people who know instead of
Yeah.
like by what some white person like assumes they know about that like demographics experience. And so I think
Right.
it just like it really threw me off. How about you? How are you landing?
I think that this one's a 2. I
Okay.
think that this whole set of books with the ridiculous holidays, like to land on Boba Tea and to get that as like, I don't know how they chose which holiday they were each going
Yeah.
to write or whatnot. So, like, to land on that and to have to come up with a story,
True.
impressive.
Yep, I agree. That's a good point.
Because it's like, not one, like, there are certain books that you're like, okay, no, I can see why this object would become a sentient object romance, whatever.
Sure.
Boba Tea is not one I ever would have thought of,
No.
ever. And it was creative. It was very like
That's true.
for the topic, it you question what goes on in someone's head for these types of things. We do it every week. We
We do,
question like
it's
where the
true.
hell did that come from? So I can appreciate that. I had some issues with just I love that the character had a very full backstory, but
Mhm.
it wasn't necessary for us to get so much of it, I think,
Yeah.
and that kind of threw me off. Like, it's one of those things, like, we're never satisfied. If it's too much
No,
smut,
that's true.
we're unhappy, and if it's not enough, and we kind of needed to find that middle ground, I think. Less about the characters and how they got to where they are, and
Yeah.
more about how she's gonna turn his dick from a corn cob into a real man.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, we didn't even get a lot of information as they were falling in love. I think I kind of would
Yeah.
have liked some of that from her perspective of, like,
Agreed.
you know? So,
Yes, I
yeah, I think
completely
I
agree.
followed it too.
I like it. So how did you cast this one?
So, for this one, Adana, I went with, she's much younger. Um, I think that in the story, she was in her mid 30s, maybe early 30s. Bless you.
Excuse me.
I think that this actress is much younger. I think she's only 21. So I went with
Yeah,
Lexi Underwood. She is from Little Fires Everywhere and
she's
Cruel
beautiful.
Summer. She is absolutely beautiful, and she looks like she could, um, like
Carry a
hold down,
Pomeranian.
carry a Pomeranian, but also be like, I'm gonna tell you all about finance. Like,
Yeah, hell yeah. Yes.
she's got that contains multitudes kind of
Yeah, I like
personality,
it.
I think. And then for Harry,
Uh-huh.
I pictured him immediately when I got that like tousled black hair, whatever.
Yeah.
I went with Jack Schumacher,
Okay.
who is from Ransom Canyon.
Okay.
He's kind of new. I think Ransom Canyon is like his big breakout role. It's on
Okay.
Netflix.
I
Very
love when I
handsome
come
man.
I love when I come to fan casts and I'm like, I have never seen this man before in my life.
Yes. So Ransom Canyon, I think season 2 either just got released or is coming soon.
Okay.
But man, oh man, is that one attractive individual.
I like it. I think this works great.
So, what are we reading next week?
Next week, we are revisiting another powerhouse in the sentient object smutty space. We're going to be reading Cirrus About You by Latrexa Nova. It's been a while since we read a Latrexa Nova.
Yes, I believe Halloween. No, Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
The Gobble Days.
The Gobble Days. Home for the Gobble Days.
Home for the Gobble Days. That's Latrexa Nova. I cannot wait to read what they have come up with about clouds.
Yeah, it's about a cloud. I can't wait. It's gonna be good.
So yes,
also,
that is exciting.
I don't understand how it's gonna. It's just for the pun, I'm sure. But the Cirrus cloud
are the wispy ones.
They're the wispy ones. Yeah. If it were like a cumulonimbus, there's like more substance. You know?
You are so outrageous.
You knew what I was gonna say, though.
I did, but only because, like, as I saw it all come together in your head, and I saw where the complaint was going. Not a complaint that I even thought about, but yes, sure.
It's gonna be fun. I can't wait.
Have you been reading anything else?
No, I haven't even started yesteryear. I'm excited to. But I also downloaded The Other Bennett Sister, which I watched the miniseries, which was incredible. Like, any fans of Jane Austen, of period pieces, like specifically of Pride and Prejudice, I highly, highly recommend.
Is that on Netflix?
No, not yet. It's only on BritBox, so you have to get creative.
Okay. You know what? I had seen something. Maybe I had seen like a reel about this or something.
Yeah. I can't remember if they have like a US release date yet or not.
Okay.
But if you can find a way to watch it, loved it
good.
so much.
Okay.
Yes. How about you?
So after we had talked about yesteryear, I found myself perusing Barnes & Noble, and I came across this book, Tradwife, by Saratoga Schaefer, and I was like, oh, this must have been the book that Elle was talking about, because I could not for the life of me remember the name.
Yeah.
So I pick it up. It's a horror about a tradwife that like wants to get pregnant. She's miserable in her relationship, and then she like finds a well on their property, and she makes a wish for a baby, and then
Guess the Antichrist.
It seems it's Rosemary's Baby for the digital age.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's a horror novel, which is very much not what I ever read. But as I was checking out the guy at Barnes & Noble, because I had asked, I was like, is this the one that they're like coming out with a movie or a TV show? And he's like, no, but this is what happens with like a lot of the same kind of style of books.
Yeah, you end up with a fad.
Yes. So he's like, no, but this book is really good.
Okay.
So I'm excited to start that one. Fun. Even though it is very much out of my comfort zone, and I'm questioning if this is a book that I'm going to have to stick in the freezer.
Right.
You know? Like, yeah. So there's that. Well, if you've made it this far, we appreciate you. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, tell your friends, leave a comment, get some merch. We've got stickers, magnets, mugs, sweatshirts, all the good things. And with that,
We're at our wits' end.
see you next time.